News over the last 24 hours has been pretty insane. We have some news around a RWBY anime. Yes, it's official. RWBY is gonna be an anime. You can't argue it. We also have some news on Harem in an alternate world dungeon anime, as well as some sequels and much more in this bit of news, so if you're interested in any of this stuff, definitely stay tuned. Let's get the most interesting news out of the way. Yes, Bandai Namco Arts has announced that RWBY is getting a TV anime project. Of course, RWBY is based off of Monty Ohm's work, which has been done by Rooster Teeth in the West. Eventually, yes, it got a actual Japanese dub and release and broadcast in Japan. It's always been one of those shows where I've never really looked into it. I wasn't really into the CGI animation art that he went with. But unfortunately, with his passing, it kind of continued on. And I heard a lot of news around people saying that its continuation never had the same heart that the original one did when Monty Ohm was around. So it was a little bit surprising me to learn that it's actually getting a Japanese produced version of the series. Now, I'm not sure exactly where it's going to fall into everything. I've heard that it's not really a sequel, but not really a redo. The title is RWBY Ice Queendom. It's already scheduled to broadcast in 2022, so it's not much of a wait. Studio Shaft will be animating it, which is probably the biggest shock for me. But additionally, the chief director is Kinjiro Okada, who of course is known for doing March Comes In Like a Lion. We also have animation concept by Jin Urobuchi, which is crazy. Obviously, Jin Urobuchi, very well known for doing the writing on Fate Zero. We also have Anoa Zero, Madoka Magica. Kind of a weird thing there. Additionally, To Ubukata is going to be working as the series composition and scriptwriter. Obviously known for creating Marduk Scramble, as well as works on Fafnir, Dead Aggressor, and obviously Ghost in the Shell Rise. And then we also have the original character designs for the actual work is going to be credited to Fook, who of course is known for Black Rock Shooter, Steins Gate, and so much fantastic artwork. It's just a very interesting beast. I mean, again, I've always respected the fandom around RWBY and the work that Monty Ohm put into his project. Obviously, it was heavily anime inspired, despite it being a Western thing and around Rooster Teeth. And it's one of those things that by the time I got a little interest in it, it kind of was in that realm where a lot of the fandom was not liking the direction it was going. So it was kind of one of those, I guess I don't have to bother. But I don't think I can ignore this. I don't know who got dirt on who, or how much money Rooster Teeth is throwing around, but it's just a really crazy team to suddenly throw together out of nowhere for a huge project like this. So there's obviously either a lot of love and respect for Monty Ohm here, or again, like I said, there's a lot of money being thrown around to have such a very, I would say, pretty high caliber team here that are going to be working on this anime. There's already an official website out there. You can check out all the official artwork they're doing for it. But yeah, like I said before, it's an oddity. I might be checking it out. Hopefully, I'll probably just wait to see how people say, is it something you can just jump right into, or is it something you're going to require to watch the old stuff for? But it's definitely interesting stuff. It's definitely an interesting time to be an anime fan, that's for sure. And yes, like I said before, we can officially not have the argument anymore if it's anime or not. It's literally the entire team is Japan, so it's an anime. But that's not it. That's not all the news we have. Moving on, we have the official website for a Harem and Alternative World Dungeon anime has announced that these series will be broadcast in July. So not very far away. We're looking at summer broadcast for that particular series. I know it's a series that Chris has been super hyped for. He's trying not to hype it because he's afraid he's going to overhype it. But yeah, I will say, based on the official key art they released and some of the official artwork, Roxanne's super thick. So if you're looking for a thick waifu, they definitely have it there. Definitely have it there. The studio that's going to be working on it is Studio Passione. Naoyuki Tatsuya is going to be working on it as the director. Of course, they worked on Nisekoi. And for those that are not familiar with the series, it centers around a high school student, Michio Kaga, wandering aimlessly throughout life and the internet. He finds himself transported from a shady website to a fantasy world, reborn as a strong man who can use cheat powers. He uses his powers to become an adventurer, earn money, and to get rights to claim girls who have idol-level beauty to form a very own harem. So, harem isekai, but apparently there's some interesting stuff in there, so I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna judge that. It's just gonna be a typical isekai harem. We'll see if there's the cheat thing. I think is supposed to be the interesting quirk there, so we'll have to wait and see. Moving on, this is exciting, very exciting news for me. If anybody who's watched me for a while now, they know that I really loved The Saint's Magic Powers Omnipotent. That was a series that, again, another typical isekai. Not really. It was a female character who's transported to another world, along with somebody else. They already deemed that there was going to be one hero, one saint that arrives, so they basically quickly discard the main character And it kind of follows her as she just finds a normal life there because she can't really go back home. She's kind of discarded by the kingdom. So it really just kind of follows her as she just kind of lives her life there. And it was a really nice, sweet story. Really loved the main character. She had a great personality. And I cannot wait to see more of this series. It's one of the very few remaining of 2021 that did not get a sequel adaptation announcement. I'm still waiting for Kekkei Shoujo, so I'll just hold hope for that one last show to get a sequel announcement. Another great announcement for a sequel is Orient. They announced at the last episode. I also think they announced it on the website as well, but Orient will be getting a second core, and that will be in July as well. So summer, they're just kind of skipping one season. And I think that's a show that's such a slow burn. I think a lot of people were put off by that. But I think it has potential there, and I think that potential will possibly be in that second core. So I am looking forward to that sequel, and I will be checking it out. And I'll definitely let you guys know if it jumps out and says, holy crap, you got to start watching this show. It's doing something crazy. Because like I said before, I think this writer likes to take her time before she gets to like that really juicy stuff, I think. Moving on, we had quite a bit of announcements coming out of Netflix, but one specifically for me that I think I'm pretty interested in is that they announced that they're going to be having a second and final season of Pacific Rim The Black coming out on April 19th. So it was like announcements right there. I know they were going to do a sequel, but not really that quickly. But it's Pacific Rim The Black is definitely one of those mixed bags for me because I definitely was interested to see a Japanese take on Pacific Rim. But unfortunately, I think they had so many English writers or Western writers that were still in the middle of the production of it that I think it still held its cards and it still played it very safe. So unfortunately, I don't think it could have done the levels of crazy stuff that I usually typically see in Japanese writing, but I'll still definitely be checking it out and see what direction it goes. Additionally, Netflix did announce that we're having a second season of Baki, so if you're interested in that series, definitely be looking forward to that. I don't think they have a date set for it yet, but of course, we'll be getting more Baki. Moving on, a new teaser trailer was released for Teasing Master Takagi-san. This is a series that's absolutely beloved by me. It has just finished its third season, and so of course they just right off the bat drop a new trailer for the movie that they already announced that was going to be a movie following the season. But they announced in the trailer that the movie will be opening in Japan theaters on June 10th. So we already know that Sentai Filmworks has licensed both the third season and the movie at the same time. So we're still waiting to see how exactly they're going to release it in the West. My hope is that they will just stream it, but they might do a theatrical release. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll do something similar to like Made in Abyss, where they'll do both theatrical and online tickets. That would be great as well. Something that's easily accessible by me, because I would love to watch it as fast as possible. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how Sentai Filmworks releases it. But for now, we know that it's releasing in Japan on June 10th, so we can expect some time after that we will get in the West. Additionally, for Sentai Filmworks, for our last bit of news, I am happy to see that Sentai Filmworks and High Dive is going swinging into spring. Unfortunately, it's been quite a while now with Crunchyroll and Funimation kind of taking control over the anime sphere in the West. It's always been kind of locked into their services, and High Dive was over here kind of gathering one or two pieces of shows. And so it's nice that for once, at least with spring, so far, they've already announced 5 shows they will be streaming on High Dive. So thankfully, they will have a presence in spring. I really do hope that they will grow because I do love competition in the anime sphere, especially in the West. And I don't really want everything to be on Crunchyroll where they can kind of dictate a lot of things. So yeah, just to keep in mind for everybody that's looking to support an alternative service, High Dive will be holding 5 titles for the spring season. That includes Onipon, which I am super excited for. This is an original series by Wit Studio. It seems more like a laid-back comedy, but I'm sure they'll probably do some bombastic stuff because it's Wit Studio. The Demon Girl Next Door Season 2, which I am super pumped for. This is a series that I absolutely love to death. It is so hilarious, super cute. Definitely looking forward to more of that. I Quit Being a Hero, which I have very little information about, but I'll be looking forward to that as well. Your Boy Komming, which is a earlier title they announced they were picking up. This is a PA Works title that I am super excited for. It looks like a fish out of water story about a old stratagem that is transported into modern time Tokyo. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that turns out. And of course, PA Works does some really beautiful stuff, so looking forward to that. And finally, The Executioner and Her Way of Life. This is a series that is a kind of an alternate look of the Isekai series, where it's an executioner, an assassin that actually kills people that get isekai'd into her world. So I'm really curious to see how that pans out. And if it doesn't make it out like the hero is the main character is a bad guy, but I'm assuming that anybody that comes from the other world ends up being corrupted in some way, so she's there to kind of stop them. So that's definitely one that I'm pretty excited about. A little bit of hesitation there, but I'm excited to see what that kind of turns out to be. But there you have it. That's the news. I hope you guys enjoyed this news bit. If you did, definitely leave a like down below. Comment. Let me know what you're most excited about in this whole thing. Are you excited for RWBY? Were you a big fan of the series and looking for it to come back fresh? Definitely excited to hear from you guys. As always, if you want to support the channel, we have a Patreon link down below in the description. We also have a tips link down there, and we also have a new merch site that you can check out and get new merch stuff for us. We have the official, damn it, Roberts. If you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you know what that means. Or you can just get something with a cute anime girl on it. So definitely check that out if you can. We definitely love all the support that you guys give us. As always, thank you all for watching. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and y'all take care.